Yo! Yeah, it's me, Uncle Ricky, and this is another episode of Uncle Ricky's House, and yes, I am excited. I don't know why, because usually when I hear about somebody has to go to jail, I tend to get upset, unless they kill somebody or, beat up somebody that I know, or ripped off everybody. And you know what? Donald John Trump, basically, as far as we know, punches at least two of those and maybe all three of those qualifications. But anyway, for the first time in the history of the United States, I won't say the glorious history of the United States, we'll just keep it simple. In the history of the United States, a former president of the United States has been criminally indicted in a court in the United States of America. That's right. New York City, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg finally brought charges against Donald John Trump, the former 45th president of the motherfucking United States. Yay! We are one step closer to proving that at least America, maybe for once in its life, for once in its history, will stand behind what it says it is. In other words, no person is above the law. Trump has, for his entire adult life, and perhaps maybe some of his teenage years or earlier, because Trump is a maniac. Trump is a narcissistic, sociopathic maniac. But today, even though it's a minor charge compared to all the other charges that have been filed against Trump, but today, yes, today, the last day, well, not the last day, but almost the end of March, going into April, Donald John Trump has been indicted by the Manhattan District Court. Yep, the grand jury delivered a sealed indictment. In other words, it'll get open later, perhaps maybe after Easter. But it's official. That motherfucker got to go at least, turn himself in. Now, this is a major step because you can't sell it short. I mean, because nobody on Trump's level, not that high in the country, the president of the motherfucking country, a former president, a national leader, criminally indicted. You hardly ever hear about former senators. Well, it's hard to hear about a former senator because them motherfuckers, once they get in there, they intend to die there. Almost the same thing with the Congress. But these type people, whether elected or appointed, usually do not face any kind of criminal prosecution after they come out of office or leave government service, unless maybe in the case of some of the appointed people, they get caught up in something and they need a scapegoat or two to keep the elected motherfuckers from going to jail. But let's get back to Donald John Trump. I don't know whether he bought this on himself or not, because, I mean, really, for real, I was almost convinced that Alvin Bragg was going to be a no-show. He was just going to choke up and basically wimp out. I could have said something else that began with a P, but I'll give him that much respect for it now, because we still have to have a trial. But see, the thing is, Trump bullied Bragg. Now, Bragg is not the president, Bragg is not a congressman, Bragg is not a senator, but Bragg is the chief legal official in Manhattan, in New York. And you cannot bully somebody with that much legal power at their fingertips. I was almost convinced that it was going to be a no-show until Trump pulled his stunt, saying that he was going to be indicted. and he started calling Bragg every name in the book except for maybe the N-word, but the way he said the shit, you knew that he meant the N-word. He called the man at one of his rallies, he called him a filthy animal, a maniacal, filthy animal. Yes, the district attorney of New York, or of Manhattan, was called an animal by the former president of the United States. We at that point in this country, so now maybe this indictment makes sense. I mean, from the very beginning, everybody said it was political. It was the Democrats trying to fuck Trump out of the next election. But really, I mean, legally, constitutionally, at least on the federal level, there is nothing stopping Trump from running. There is no black and white black letter law saying that Trump cannot run if he's indicted. They're even debating if he's convicted and sent to jail, can he run, and if he wins, can he serve as president from jail? That's deep. That's fucking deep. But then again, there are, I mean, I'm wondering, and this is nothing official, this is just some shit that I remember from other cases and things, that there are certain states, especially in the South, where his biggest fan base is, you can't run on the ballot if you are a convicted felon. Now, I don't know if that only applies to state elections and federal elections override that, or if there's a clause or whatever, but it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. So let's put that to the side for a second, because that's a wait and see thing, because we don't even know what he's charged with yet. It may not be any federal charges in there, it may just be state charges. It's a sealed indictment. But it's an indictment nonetheless, and Donald John Trump has to appear and be arraigned for it. Yes, that mango motherfucker has to go to court just like every motherfucking body else. He can't send anybody else. He can't have his lawyer. He can't do it by Zoom. He has to stand his fat orange ass in front of a judge in New York City and listen to the charges that have been leveled against him and be arraigned. Now, they're not gonna remand him. That you don't even think about that shit. If Trump goes to jail, it's gonna be after he's been found guilty, had a productive sentencing hearing, and that's probably gonna be another zoo all by itself, and live beyond all the appeals he's gonna file to keep his orange ass out of jail. But is this a chink? Is this a crack in his armor? Is this something his potential Democratic primary opponents can use against him? Is it something even that his potential Republican primary opponents can use against him? Is this something that his potential Democratic opponents can use now to start at least, dragging him through the mud? The complexities, the waiting, the back and forth, the wondering if, some people saying this, some people saying that. A lot of you motherfuckers admit it. And I gotta admit, like, recently down near the end where everything was falling apart, and especially yesterday when they said, oh yeah, the grand jury is going to convene for the Easter holiday, and we'll reconvene sometime later in April, maybe early May. I'm telling you, I was mad enough to bite nails, because I'm like, these motherfuckers have finally sold out this country to a madman. But they met at midnight. You know how like we always talk about shit that goes on at midnight. Anything after midnight ain't good. Well, it proved correct for Donald John Trump because it's the first in his life, it's the first in the history of the country. And actually, however you look at it, even if the MAGA red hats go crazy and start doing dumb shit, it is an emotional shot in the arm for those of us that no matter whether you're a conservative or a liberal, you know, you have different ideals, but Donald John Trump rubbed a lot of us the wrong way. And even the ones that bought into his bullshit that had half a brain, they saw through his idiocy within the first year and a half, and they regretted voting for Trump. That's why he lost it. That's why he lost re-election. Certain amount of Republicans woke up, certain amount of independents woke up, and they said enough because this man is a madman. I might agree with, you know, his policies towards this and this and that, but all the hate and division that he generates to accomplish his agenda, it makes no sense. Trump is a fascist. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way to redefine it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that contribute to his identity as a fascist: the lying, the bullying, the badgering, the misogyny, the xenophobia. I can go on, and let's not forget the motherfucking bigotry and racism. But yet, this bigoted, racist motherfucker, just like every other human being in this country, has to stand before the bar of justice. As the former president of the United Motherfucking States, you think that this isn't, like, you know, shocking the world? There's people all over the world that say, fuck America, they'll never prosecute that asshole. Well, maybe America hasn't prosecuted the asshole, but the state of motherfucking New York has. Now the question is, will the federal government, will Merrick Garland, like, see that he's in a corner, there's no other solution but to prosecute Trump? Let Jack Smith go wild and do his thing? Will the state of Georgia put the rednecks in their state house back in line and let Fannie Willis do the job that she was elected to do, that she has the constitutional right to do, not only by the national constitution, but by the constitution of the damn state of Georgia? Trump has fucked with the law one too many times. The question is, will the law smack his ass down like it does every motherfucking body else? Well, that's it. I'm so happy. I may not even be able to sleep tonight, but I'm wishing the rest of y'all a good evening wherever the fuck you are. And as always, man, y'all know I love you. Peace out and God bless from Uncle Ricky at Uncle Ricky's house.